Thanks for tuning in to this Mothlike Shootout second round match between Tad Thurman and Luis Abarca. This is replacing the semi-finals and a guaranteed payout. And it's race to 8 for Luis and race to 7 for Tad. Makes the ball off the break. Yeah, for every 40 points of Fargo difference, there is one rack on the wire, up to a maximum of 3 racks. And the difference between these two players is 66 points. So just a single rack head start for Tad. I'm just looking what he's going to do here. He may choose to attack this and be coming down naturally towards the 2. Looks good. Slightly over hit. So a bit tricky. I don't think you can cut this in anymore. The 3 where it is. So maybe just attempt at the cross bank. The side, but catches the lower side of the 6, and he's indicating now he wants to try and hide the cue ball under the 3. So Lewis comes to the table. He's got a chance of this too in the top right, and drawing back onto the 9 to have shape on the 3 if it goes in, but maybe get a hook if it doesn't. But that's clean as a whistle. Nice shape on the 3 too. Has an angle here to get up for the 5 ball. You could play forward and use a long rail on the right. You're going to be going away from the 5, and as he's indicating there, you may have to end up playing past that 6. And the 6 is a big ball. You can easily snooker yourself behind it. But that's what it seems to be playing. Give it a good hit. Make sure he gets well past the 6. It's a good shot. Very low risk of looking himself playing at that pace, and now he's got a good line here just to draw back across the table. Oh, but doesn't quite get the accuracy required. He had the cue ball exactly where he wanted it, just rattled the 5. So Tad with a chance to steal now. Can make one good shot here, could well be out. It's pretty thin though, so I'm not sure about holding it just off the 2 rails. May need to play all the way up the table and back down. Oh, he does play it slowly. Out of outside on there. Ends up overcutting it, the spin through the 5 wider than he anticipated. And I think that was partially due to trying to just hold it, where the natural line might have been just to let you stroke out and let the cue ball travel where it wanted to go. Well, these are always a bit tricky. Ball's right in the jaws of the pockets, never easy to control the cue ball. As you can see there, he didn't want to collide with the 9, but he's finished okay. I think he's got sight of the cue ball, doesn't need to jack up. And this should be naturally on the 7 if he can cut this in at a nice even pace. And takes it in the corner. That's a nice shot. One more good shot here from Luis, and he should be taking this opening rack. Yeah, that looks good. Confident stride around the table now. Punching that 7 ball in. So Luis takes the lead, 1-0. In this format, it's alternate break. Let's see what sort of break he's going to try. Yeah, he's been doing this in his previous match, just getting the cue ball pretty much central, hitting the 1 very full. And you see there he hit almost completely full ball, and just hoping to make a ball by hitting it hard. It comes up dry, no attempt at the cut break there. Now there's a shot on for Tad here. You can attempt the 1. Cue ball's naturally going to be going into the 9. So could perhaps err on the side of hitting the 1 a little thinner. Maybe put a tiny little bit of left English on there and try and flick that 9 in the corner. That's what he tried. Look at that 9 ball. I think had he hit that just a little harder, may well have gone. But has a shot still on this 2. Bit tricky from under the rail. And just puts that wide. He's going to finish safe, and he may find himself in a spot of bother after this shot. I think it's going to be a... Actually, maybe he's got a shot to try and make the 9 here. A little bit of outside, right hand spin, thin off the 2. Cue ball to go, just one rail directly at that 9 ball. And just slightly overdid the angle there, so I think he's just left the edge for Tad. Oh, he seems to be kicking. Yeah, he is. Nearly made it. But it's not hitting them, it's getting them safe when you're in the snooker. And this is an opportunity now for Luis. Natural angle to come up the table. Seems to be putting a little bit of left spin on there to avoid that 4 ball. But he dogs the 2. So a chance for Tad. Get himself into this game now. Once again a bit tricky with the 2 right in the jaws. Maybe tempted to go rail first. A little bit of left spin. Get the cue ball to come around 2 rails. Yeah, that's the problem. He went directly at the 2. Collided with the 7. And lost the cue ball. He's still got the right hand edge of that 3. Maybe could... Yeah, just trying to get it across the table. Maybe try and knock the 9 in, but seems to be hitting it too thin for the direct bank into the 9. And once again, a chance falls to Luis. And nicely judged there. Good speed. Just cinch this and hold for the 5 in the bottom left. And there is a 6-9 combo waiting for him if he can get over there. He's just finished a little funny on this 5. Looks to be going into the 7. Ideally he wants to get the cue ball over where his hand is now, make that combo easier. It just settles for using the 7 as a stopper. You've got a choice here. You could try the carom. Cue ball off the 6 onto the 9. That's what he tried. It's just a little tricky and gives another chance to Tad. So got to make a slightly tricky cut here. Tricky because it's you're a little close to it, not quite so straightforward gauging the contact point, and also looks as though he's going to be going into close to that 9, so that will interfere with his ability to get nicely on the 7. Plus it's a bit of a stretch for him. And if you're going to try and get outside that 9 to the right of the 9, you dice him with the scratch. I think you just play the natural angle, maybe a little bit of left spin, play with a bit of pace to try and get through the 9. So hope you catch the 9 thin, the cue ball with that left spin, come down the centre of the table, maybe even go over to the left, which would be good, have a shot on the 7. If he doesn't like it, he seems to be playing the bank down in this bottom corner. Oh, it's just a safe, I think. Looks like good speed. Yeah, that's excellent judgment of pace. Got that 6 exactly where he wanted it. The supposed cue ball was running over towards the 9 as well, so there's a chance he could have made the 9. Gets the double kiss, but no damage done. He was just trying to bank that over to the rail where it's finished anyway. Or does he attack with this? Go for the bank? He's cut it over towards the pocket. It's thin, but it's makeable. I don't think he wanted that kiss on the 7. I think he was trying to get the cue ball up towards the 9 there, Tad. Going for the bank. Got it too much, needs to hit it full in the face than that. Once again, nothing easy here. I think you've kind of got to commit yourself at a certain point. I mean, it's a tough cut, and you're also dicing with that left centre pocket. You have to really try and smooth this one in. That's what he tried. Catches it too thin. And it was a high tariff shot. Great chance to win if it dropped, but strong chance of losing if it didn't. Good cue ball here. Nicely judged. Past that side pocket. Looks like he's just standing directly over, is he? Or is he playing forward? Yeah, the natural angle was fine. It's slightly steeper than he might have wanted here, and he's off the rail with the 8, so got to hit this cleanly. I think it's a running side shot, so that would be top right spin in this instance. Try and get that cue ball to the right of that middle diamond on the bottom rail. Well, didn't catch it well at all. Nearly scratched, in fact. And this is coming up for Tad. So here we go. Chance to level things up here. It's a natural angle. All you got to do is drop the 8 in. Oh dear. He'll be disappointed with that one. Not quite got himself warmed up yet. And that's the thing with these games. If you don't get at the table time, is not really have the chance to get into his stroke. Sometimes easier shots than you would expect could be missed until you get that arm going nicely. A nice stroke from Luis there. That's definitely going to win him the game. No chance of the scratch. So despite chances going the other way, it's going to be 2-0 to Luis, and now Tad with the break here in rack 3. Now, in case you're wondering why Tad's coin is under the 1 diamond, just under where his cue is now, that's because he is racing to 7, or because of the Fargo difference, and Luis is racing to 8. So rather than have it that way, they're both racing to 8, and they've put 1 on the board for Tad already. So according to the scores for these guys, it's 2-1, but that's with them both racing to 8. But in actual fact, Tad has not won a rack yet, and as you can see on my score, but he's only racing to 7. So that will explain that. And that was some break there from Tad. Got 3 balls down, I believe. But unfortunately, his opening shot on the 1 has collided with the 6, and I think he's messed up his shape. It's a shame that only 6 balls left on the table. And this is going to present a chance for Luis. Not that tricky to make the 2, but getting the cue ball all the way back down the table for the 6, that's the tricky thing here. Looking there, if you can get the cue ball just past that right centre pocket, sort of a shot you'll have on the 6. Digging deep here. And that's a tremendous shot. Slightly overhit it, but he got the perfect line that he was trying to, and this is definitely cuttable. And I think the 7-9, he's looking at that as a combo next, the way he's playing this. And trying to throw it in with a lot of outside, but Fortunately, just caught the 6 a bit too thin. Thin one here for Tad. Try and get the cue ball up and down for that 7-9 combo. And actually catches the 6 too thin. And another long shot chance here for Luis. He's just wondering whether he tries to slow roll it to finish just one rail. And then on the 7 or digging down again, drag shot. A lot of outside. And again, the spin over acts on the object ball. Cuts it too thin, but if you're going to miss that ball, missing it thin was the way to do it. Got it dead safe. And this is a nice save from Tad. It's just going to peep out there. Left a bit of an edge for Luis. A lot of right spin on this, kicking it from behind. There was a chance it might have dropped in that side, but chance presents itself to Tad. Just indicating there he wants to play one rail down for 7 in the bottom right. Not interested in the combo. Just wants to run out instead. And slightly off angle here. Might be going into the 9. If you can draw it sharply, you may be able to avoid that. Yep. Done well. Bit of a tester here. Got to get nice, smooth cueing. Push that cue through straight. Try and stay still. He wants to try and draw back a little as well. Big test. Yeah, it was always difficult. And actually, the final delivery appeared to be just a little hurried there. The timing of those shots is of paramount importance. And timing is such an easy thing to say, but one of the hardest things in the world to execute. It's really what separates the best of the best from the rest of us. The exquisite timing of the strike, enabling them to get maximum reaction without too much effort. And Luis decelerates. Oh no. Yeah, I think he was scared of following through, double hitting the cue ball. So just choked the cue in his hand. Didn't get through the ball. Oh my goodness. Tad. That was a gift. But squandered the chance. He's just not quite managed to get into the game yet. Luis has led a bit of a charmed life. He's left a couple of golden chances to his opponent, but they've not been taken. So just go for the snooker. Gets good cover. One rail kick from behind, trying to get it in that right centre pocket. That's kind of come round, I'm afraid. So a chance to make it 3-0 here. Interesting to see how he plays shape for the 9. He's going to put a bit of right spin on there. Trying to come around for the 9 in the bottom right. Didn't quite get through the ball. Finishes a little bit skinny. Here's a pressure shot. Gotta do your routine. Yeah, that's the thing when you don't get on it right. But as with earlier on that 6 ball, if you cut it too thin, every chance you'll get it safe. If you hit it too thick, you probably dress it up. So missed it the pro way. And do you play safe here, keep your powder dry, or do you just commit yourself and go for the bank? I think if you were banking it, the top right would be the one to play for. Could just do a slow bank up and down the table, try and get that 9 in the middle of the top cushion, but he's gone for it all. Yeah, all in, he was there. He got very close, but just cut it a little bit too much. And I think this is no problem for Luis. You've got to be careful. Spin. I think a bit of left spin. Rail first. He makes this no problem. There it is. It's 3-0. Just keeping his eye on that cue ball in case it went close to the side pocket. So Luis with the break again in rack 4. That could do with getting a rack on the board soon. And that 4 was headed straight in until the cue ball got in the way, so it's a dry break. Left nothing for Tad. I think it's a push out here. This is one of those racks where could be a bit of safety up front. It's that 1 and 2. Going to hold things up a while. But apart from that, everything else is in the open. A lot of balls clustered around those 2 side pockets. So with these, when I'm playing a push out, I'm trying to think of a position that doesn't look very inviting for my opponent, but from which I have seen safety opportunity that I can get him in trouble. So you actually want him to decline it and offer it back to you. But I think Luis will be taking this one, because the one's pretty much going to stay there in that zone. So he just has to, well, look at that. He's trying to play the cue ball 2 rails to knock the 9 in. Oh, got some collisions he didn't plan for, but not left the 1. Certainly not easy. You could, if you wanted to attack, go for that top left as a corner pocket bank, but the cue ball would have to travel all the way around the table. So it's just a safe. But he's not going to get cover here. More of a containing shot than anything else. Maybe you just bank the 1 down, try and get it below the little cluster of balls there. It drops in the side pocket. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going for safe. I'm going left-handed. No, I think he's got to get the bridge for this one. So what do you do with it? Well, you can hit the right side of the cue ball easily enough, so that's what he's going to do here. But once again, not the best safety in the world. Chance for Tad. I think this banks cleanly past the 3. And he's going to come around and get on the 3. Well, that'll do. A bit close to his work. If it's full enough, he should be able to judge it and hold for the 4. Then 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's all waiting for him. Well, he's played that nicely. It's thinner than it looked, actually. That cue ball could have been kinder. A tricky thin cut here. One of those is going to stay over the hole if you don't get it. Yeah, unfortunately, that bit too thick. Turns over the table. Just trying to shake it out and feel a bit looser there, Tad. Oh, but a chance. Straight back to the table. Yeah, Luis could have really compounded Tad's misery there by taking advantage of that, but he'll be feeling okay now. He's coming back to the table with this chance. Nicely up for the 5. And just wants to get the cue ball back out pretty much where it is now. That looks good. Just get above the 7. Don't finish straight. You want to have a nice angle to get over for the 8. You could either stay parallel to that long rail, same distance off the rail as the 7 is, or try and get back out into the middle. Well, he's just dropped it in for the 7 up table. And that's not a bad shot to play, you know. Got a good angle here. All he's got to do is push this in with a bit of topspin. And that's all the way clean. Very nice shot. Yeah, starting to feel a little better here, Tad, I think. Making a few balls. And he's going to get his first rack on the board, not before time. Going to be 3-1 to Luis. And there we go, we're off and running. Tad with a break in rack 5. So appears to be going for the cut break here. Cue ball on the line. Makes the 2. Got the one a bit too thick. 4's going to drop? No, not quite. That's why when it flew off the pack of balls, it hit above the left centre pocket. If it goes above the pocket, generally, you've hit it too thick. If it goes below the side pocket, you've hit it too thin. So you've got to try and titrate how thick you're hitting it to get it just right. Obviously, you need draw as well to get the best reaction out of that one ball. So just trying to figure out how to get on this 3 here. So close to the rail, it's hard to get a lot of action on that cue ball. Gonna try, get a bit of right spin on there because he wants to come down for the 3 in the bottom left. There is a shot just to play with top and settle for the combo with the 3-8. That might be easier. I think that's what he tried in the end. Just lost accuracy a bit. Alright, we'll see a little swerve from Luis here, I think. He's a bit of a dab hand at the masses. Yeah, it's very hard to get a successful snooker on this guy. Kicking is excellent, swerving is just as good. So now, all the way around the table, you go forward or you go backwards. I quite like drawing this with a lot of left, just to come there like a Z shape. You get 3 in the bottom left. That's what he's tried. Didn't quite get the backspin, so he's finished above the 3 with no shot. I think super thin. Just trying to hide the cue ball behind that 9. That's this good shot actually. Yeah, done very well there. And the 3-8 is a combo. Don't know how he gets to it. Hard to tell with this angle. Can he see the edge? Swerving, I think it's got to swerve, but when the 9's so far away from the cue ball, you've got to really swerve out wide initially and then try and hope the correction puts the white on the right line. Yeah, it was tough, that one. And so with a ball in hand, I think you just do 3-8 and leave yourself on the 3. You could have got up table for that 4. So with these combos, you're controlling 3 balls really. You're obviously putting the 8 in the pocket, trying to leave your 3 in a nice position. You've got the angle you need to get on the 4. Just close, a little bit flat, but pockets are generous enough that you can force a bit of an angle, but I think you've got to settle for being below the 4 and take the 4 in the top left here. You're going to have some work to get from 4 to 5. Yeah, it was hard to get a lot of action there without double heading. So one of these shots that requires that exquisite timing I was talking about earlier, and he's also just got to watch out. He doesn't catch the point. Certainly don't want to scratch in the side, but I think just a stun shot with left will be enough. Well, the 4's going in. Yeah. He was due a bit of luck, it has to be said. Nice shape on the 5. That's where he wants the cue ball, right in the middle of the table. And that'll do. Wee bit flat. So I think he's got to push forward and use the top rail here. Once again, you've got that 7-9 looking like a combo, and he's trying to draw back for the 7 in the bottom right. Yeah, didn't quite time it right. Where's the cue ball? Oh my goodness. How many times have we seen that? Almost identical to the shot Vladdy played in the first match Luis played. But here we go. Tic-tac-toe, 1, 2, 3. Just these balls for a 4-1 lead. A little training drill. People might say that was unfortunate, but actually had Tad got the right angle on the 7, it would have been elementary. So it's just about those little margins, control. So Luis breaking here, rack 5. He's halfway to his target. Once again, straight down the gun, hitting that 1 ball full in the face. Coming up dry and leaving nothing for Tad except to push out. So you definitely don't want to leave a clean shot on the 1. So where do you leave it? He seems to just be content with rolling to the rail. They've not made the cushion, so this is makeable. Now the 2 won't pass the 8, so you'd have to come up with something special to get a shot to make the 2 next. But making the 1 gives you control of the table. Yeah, tried to force the cue ball over to the left so he'd have a 2-9 combo shot. Gives a chance to Tad. Now I don't think the 2 passes the 4 in the centre. I think it's just coming down to have a look at that now. Looks tight anyway, but it will go in the top right. So he needs to get the cue ball slightly away from the rail here. Probably is allow it to drift forward a bit. Remains to be seen how much that 8 ball is obstructing his access to the 2 ball. But besides that, I don't know if the 3 will pass the 5 in the bottom right, so the chances of getting out here are quite slim. Let's see if we can make the 2. Well, looks like he's playing some sort of safe there. Not too bad. Not that anything easy for Luis, but certainly not gotten him in a lot of trouble. Could choose to play for the attacking option here. Take it on, cut it in the top right. As he waits for the player on the adjacent table to finish shooting, so he can take that space. Could possibly cross bank it. Oh, he's just dropping it in. Well, that very nice shot from that angle. I think we could be seeing the snooker coming up here. Just cut the 3 through the gap. Let it just roll down a few inches. And you're swapping hands, so a bit of finesse required here with the wrong hand. Yeah, he didn't want the kit between the 3 and the 5, so that just leaves this easier to hit for Tad. Be entirely sure where the balls are going to finish. As he's scouring the room for a bridge so he's able to reach this shot. Yeah, coming off the rail, he wants to try and hit the 3 as full as he can. If he could get it completely full and put a little bit of backspin on the cue ball, he could hold the cue ball right there where the 3 is and drive the 3 around the table. That'd be a wonderful shot. Unfortunately, didn't get the full ball contact on the 3, and somewhat fortunate the cue ball followed it around the angles to get obstacles in the way. So here, trying to hit it full to get the separation and cover, but he's dressed up an opportunity now, so Tad has a chance here. Come around a couple of rails, so he's just trying to baby it, and that'll do nicely. Held for the 4 perfectly in the centre. Can just drop this in, leave yourself a little angle on the 5. Choosing to have the rail, that's a good shot. I could just play top here with a tracer right. He's kind of run on a little bit too far, but I'll stop just in time. looking good now. Just get back to the middle of the table. Leave yourself perfect angle on that 8. Initially he was addressing the top of the cue ball there. I think he can just draw straight back. But no, it's top. Coming round, well, he's approaching the 8 at a funny angle. Oh, he's worked out okay actually. The kiss has knocked it into a decent position. So he's got an angle to get the cue ball out. With the 9 in the same pocket here. But he's lost the white again. He's going to have to put this in the side pocket now. Pressure on this. Just got to roll it in the side pocket. That's all he can do. He's at every chance to drop. Oh, that's a lovely stroke. Well played, Tad. Tad gets out there. Now cuts his deficit to only 2 racks. And break in here with a chance to make it only 1. A big rack in the context of the match coming up. Caught them a little bit thin. Cue ball had all the pace still on it when it left the 1 ball. Came up dry. And he's left a long shot on this 1 for Luis. Bringing the cue ball back down table towards the 2. He's gonna snooker himself, is he? And maybe just gonna do a tiny swerve here. Now happy to kick. Well, he's done a very good contact there. Gets excellent separation. Helpful little flick off 3. The 2 in a safe spot. So I think if we turn safe is in order here. Do you go super thin off the left edge of that 2? That's what he's played. Should get down below the 7. Yeah, that looks good. So the centre pocket is slightly in the way for the rail first here. Gonna just have to bend it a tiny little bit. As you can see, he's elevating the cue butt. Catches it directly, and that's not too bad, all things considered. Could very easily have left it on. So the thin cut, probably play with a bit of left to try and throw it in. Oh, he's happy to play the safe again. Catches a real nice contact, thin on that 2. Unfortunate to kiss the 9. If he'd missed that, the chance he would have gone under the 6, so still not bad. And that double kiss turned out beautifully for Luis. Most of the time when you double kiss them, they turn out bad, but that time it was very favourable. So the roll of the ball that he had earlier against Vlad is still with him. And although he can hit this too thin on the left as we look at it, I've got to do him a lot of good. Oh, that's turned out okay. Once again, the ball's come to the rescue. The 3 stopping Luis potting this directly. Oh, it's going in. Fluked it. Yeah, I think he was trying to play it in off the 6 anyway. That's too skinny to cut in. So close to it. Just a safe. There's the cue ball going. Lucky, lucky, lucky there. Just fractions of an inch away from scratching. I think Tad just happy to get the 9 ball moving. Got a tester here for Luis. Can he get this 3 and get all the way back to the 4 ball? Yeah, he was always going to collide with the 8, he felt. Has he got an angle here to bank this? about getting the cue ball out of the way. It's pretty foolish sort of contact required. And actually, got too much of the 4 ball there. Just a bit of running English, I think, come around the right angles. But coming a bit too far. They're still cuttable, but extremely thin now. Cue ball will be whizzing around the table if he takes that on. He's just trying to hide the cue ball here. Excellent shot. Couple more rolls, it would have been lock up. Prison time for Luis. Good hit. Putting the 5 over the corner though. But once again the cue ball stops shy of scratching. So if it's over the pocket, by no means an easy shot this. Especially to try and get good on the 6. Yeah, I mean they look so simple those shots, but believe me, you've still got to be extremely accurate. And you can't really get more separation than corner to corner diagonally on the 9-footer. So, is it safe here from Luis? Just bank the 5 straight down and back up. It catches the bump. So 5's no problem, you can make that, but to get on the 6 you've got to come around to the left side of the table. You've got to avoid the 7. Well, they got the second part shot but not the first. Not for the short stick, but this is going to be quite some jump getting over that 8. Never easy when the intervening ball's closer to the object ball than the cue ball. Yeah, I don't like the look of this, and I don't think Tad does either. See, oh he does. Yeah, caught the 8 and scratched. It was always on the cards, I'm afraid. So just 4 ball out here for Luis to get to 5-2. I'll wait for the autofocus to kick in. There we go. All about the shape here. If he gets nicely on the 8, it's done and dusted. Just slightly overhit it. Bit more demanding now. Just got to play the thin cut across the face of the 8. Play it fairly slow. You want to watch the cue ball in that left centre. And that's why he's coming round for another look. Yeah, he's trying to play 2 rails for the 9 in the right centre. Good idea this. Lets his stroke out a little bit more. Less chance of the decel. Makes a great cut there on the 8. Finishing awkward though, you know, he's finished just enough above the 9 to make this a relatively simple shot. Boom. There it is. 5-2 now, Luis leading. And with the break in rack 8. The 2 ball gonna drop? Not quite. So a real nice table here for Tad. Three's a little tricky with the 8 so close by, but it does have the top left for sure, and 4's fairly nearby. I wonder if he could have split the 3-8 with that shot. We'll never know. Looked to be a little too much of a cut to get forward into the 8. But it might have been worth trying with the 2 right over the hole. Now he's got one of those slightly tricky positional shots with a ball hanging in the jaws. Well, I'm not even sure. Can he hit it? If he misses the 6, does he catch the 8 first? Only he was able to make a good hit. But leaves the 3 in open play. Luis is eyeing up a 3-ball combo to put the 9 in here. You've got to admire a man with ambition, that's for sure. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of accuracy required for that one, and wasn't able to put the 7 onto the 9. Similar shot to the 8 that Luis had in the last track, just cutting across the face of this 3, quite thin. Choosing to play the bank, but it squares up and is dressed up for Luis Abarca. Needs to keep rolling. That's okay. Pretty much perfect to put cue ball anywhere he wants here. With all 4 balls sitting in the centre of the table, you would fear the worst here. Certainly from Tad's perspective. Slightly off angle on the 7. It's got to go up table and back down. Probably just play 1 rail with a bit of check side. Actually, loads and loads aside. Go around 2 rails. That's a perfect shot. Really nicely played there by Luis. Gentle little draw, a few inches. Again, plays a positive punch off the side rail. Straightforward 9. There it is. Where's the cue ball going? Nice safe. So it is now 6-2. Tad with the break here, rack 9. Got to stop Luis from getting on the hill. As long as he can do that, he's in with a chance, but you'd fear the worst if Luis can get to 7. And there's a scratch on the break. Bit of a disaster. The 1-2 simple enough. The 3 goes in the bottom right. Not a combo with the 9 in the bottom left. 4's available. 7-8 bit tied up. Just going to leave himself slightly above the pocket line on the 2 to make it easy to roll 1 rail down for the 3. And you don't even you don't even need to hit this hard. Just to let the spin do the work. Oh, he has played for the combo. Look at that. And likes to seize his opportunities, this fella. That's for sure. Yeah, it was tough. Don't blame him for going for it though. Leaves a real thin cut here on this 3 for Tad. cue ball will be running away up the table. Very little chance of getting shape on the 4. Yeah, he's got some distance to contend with. At least he didn't scratch. Rearranging the furniture a little. It's the one thing with this. This is table 9 in on-cue billiards. There is a drink shelf on the far wall behind Tad, and that's a little bit too close to the table, or the table's a little bit too close to the wall. Just a bit of a pinch point. For those of us who are taller, the stools that are there are always in the way when the cue ball's close to the rail. Missing the bank, not by much. 2 rolling pretty safe. I say the 4 rolling pretty safe. Could cut this in the top left. Choosing to try and get the snooker behind the 6, but doesn't quite hit 4 thin enough. Needs to be a little bit more on the right side to get that cue ball locked up. Two-railer. I think he was going for that. So he thin cuts at this right side pocket. Cue ball coming down and back up to collide with the 5, maybe. Nudge it. Good things could happen. I think he was just trying to baby that and stay below the 5s for the top right corner, but now he's going to have to bank this. We'll definitely need an angle on the 6 though, so doesn't need to come back too far. On a drop. Ooh, I thought it was in. I think it's just far enough past the side to Luis to put it down the rail. Just checking there, can you get the cue ball on the point? And does the 7 past the 8? All the way. And that's yours truly there. There's a close-up you don't really ask for. I'm just trying to adjust the camera here as I've got some problems with the battery. Telling me that the battery's not charging, and I don't want the power to run out part way through a game, so I'm just doing some sort of a running repair, trying to connect a power bank directly to that camera, because we're actually not streaming live here on this. We recorded the footage from this match. We only had one live stream table, and then recorded all 3 of the others so we could edit and post them like this later. That way everyone who played gets to see all of their matches, whereas when you're trying to stream multiple matches all through one feed, it's never a good idea. You don't get to cover any of them well. Very disjointed. One thing we learned with the first iteration of this tournament. Overcuts the 8. So Tad survives, but hardly left anything appetizing here. This is a horrible shot to have to play. Yeah, I mean, technically possible to cut it in to the bottom left, but you've got to aim to miss the 8. Play with a ton of left-hand English, oh sorry, right-hand English. That's what he seems to be doing. It wasn't far off. And if the cue ball keeps rolling, well, unfortunately it's pulled up too soon, so you'd expect Luis to make this no problem. And the cue ball will be coming across for the 9 automatically. Oh! An unforced error from Luis on the 8. So Tad can really seize the initiative now. Get this rack on the board. Close it to 3 again. This time it's a lot left. Rail first. flicks the 8 in, nicely played. And just a nice slow roll, just drop that 9 in, no heroics. Oh, where's the cue ball going? Yes, a bit dicey there, but that'll do. 6-3, moves with the break, rack 10. So the 1 just drops with the last roll. And I believe the 2's available. The 9's slightly in the way. And if he can't get it direct, he can certainly come rail first. In fact, that might be the shot to play, because he'll have a lot of left English on the cue ball and it'll come spinning around 3 rails. Yeah, that's exactly what he tried, but didn't quite catch the 2 right. So another chance for Tad. Just got to choose your path over to the left side of the table. You want to try and get close to the 3 if you can. So gap between the 4 and 9's not bad. Playing below the 5. This is okay. You just got to drop that 5 in. Play a little stop shot. Want to try and keep the cue ball above the pocket line of the 4 though. Just slightly inaccurate. Got the cue ball exactly where he wanted it, but drove the 3 into the rail. And although they're generous, they're not quite that generous. How's that for a shot? May choose to try and avoid the 9 here. I think the path takes him into it, but nip the cue ball a little bit, get over to the long rail. No, he's got top on the ball. Yeah, deliberately played into the 9. That's not worked out. He may choose to play the 5-9 combo here. I do believe the 5 will go direct. Very thin. I can't see him playing the carom, because you'd have to hit the 5 so thin with the cue ball, and then the cue balls have to carry forward and hit the 9 ultra thin. The top side of the ball. Yeah, I think the 5-9's the best bet. Well, he did go for the carom. I think he was maybe going for the 5 at the same time in the side, so a bit of a two-way shot, but neither comes off. So Tad can get to 4 here. A little bit of right English. Spin out to the middle of the table. There's the cube. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not going to cut it. So we're looking at 3-7 now. All sport a bit too far, quite flat here. Then stretching. Does okay. But the angle here is taking him over to the left of the table. So he's gonna, if he wants to shape the 9, he either has to play short side for the same pocket, or he has to try and pop that cue ball off the long rail on the left and then back across. Misses the 8. I think he had a bit of spin on there, trying to do something funny with the cue ball and pay the price. Yeah, that was all due to stretching too much on the 7 there. If he'd have, got his extension piece out, played it a bit more comfortably, he probably would have had the perfect angle on the 8. But I've seen him play a lot, and he does like to stretch whenever he can. He doesn't like to take too long to play. And he's generally pretty good, full reach, but it definitely hampers your style a little bit. So I think he was trying to get that cue ball tight on the rail, that's all I can think, or maybe even trying to come and knock the 9 in, but not a good 8 ball. Did pretty good there, all things considered, getting all the way across. It all depends, is this 9 touching the rail? If so, it's a much easier shot than if it isn't. Oh, that's in. All the way. So despite his miss on the 8, he still gets that game, and he's now on the hill. Tad with it all to do, he's got to win 4 on the spin. And coming up dry once again, but no shot left for Luis. Most of the balls all clustered in this right hand bottom corner of the table, so I'd be playing a thin edge off the left side of the 1 and get the cue ball right down here. But Luis happy to play the bank instead, and it flies in. So what do I know? Can I go into the 8 here? And that's finished a little bit on top of the 3. Is there a gap? May be able to just jack up high and squeeze the edge of this. Still make it. Cue ball flies in. Yeah, just too straight, too tight to that 3. What do you do here? The 4 doesn't pass the 5. 4-5 combo is not very inviting. You could set up a shot into the left centre on the 3 and get the cue ball to come down and collide with the 4, bump it and try and develop it. I don't mind that shot as an option. Yeah, that's what he seems to be doing. Oh, hang on. He's lining up the corner, is he? You could do it that way as well. Give yourself the angle that you need to get into the 4, but it looks like he's trying to play the combo next. Oh, hang on. He's gone for the 9. Well, what a shot that was. What a cracker. Well played, Tad. Very inventive. And he gets himself to 4 racks now. So can he keep doing that? Or is Luis going to deliver the coup de grace? Let's find out. Try break yet again. And a straight 1 in the corner doesn't really offer a lot, so he's looking at the side. You need to get across to the left to see that 2 ball past the 5 in that top left. And it's a good shot there, but I think he's going to come out again. Just a bit too hard. Nice shot. Right idea. Got to be rail first now, though. They're doing the old measurement. He's got to aim just past that 1 diamond up from the left side pocket. And with that measurement system, you should put running English on, so a bit of top right. But he actually aimed to the left of the point that he found on the rail. He aimed about 3/4 of the way up to that first diamond up from the left center pocket, and he actually needs to aim a little bit past it. And you saw there that he actually hit the 2 too thin, got it in. So that measurement system's pretty accurate. I use it myself quite a lot, and I found it to be quite reliable. Nice shot from Luis. Controlling the 3 over the hole. How's he going to get up this 4? I'm playing all the way around. Can he drop it in the side? Just playing the snooker. Quite cagey. Nothing wrong with that, keeping the pressure on Tad. Good hit, sir. Well played. But I fear he's left a 4-9 combo, which I'll be extremely surprised if Luis doesn't go for this. But this is for the match as well. Here we go. Oh, hits the point. Tad breathes again. It's not over yet. Nice angle here. We'll drop on the 5 automatically. All he's got to do is roll the 4 in. And can he hold to the left of the 7 to just baby it? There it is. I believe he's still got enough angle to get down table a little for the 8. Oh, but he misses the 7. And whilst he's got the cover, a bit dejected as he walks away from the table. Just not been his night so far. So you can go rail first here, try and make this, but you've got to catch it so thin. I don't see a lot of other options. Oh, he's playing a swerve. Let's see. That's also extremely difficult. And just content to try and get the 9 moving. And he gets cover on the 7. Ain't that just the way it's been going? Has he got full snooker? Got any of the 7? He's swerving a bit, looks like. Good effort, sure. 7's come all the way back down. And the slowish roll into that top left will take the cue ball above the 8. That's good. And now just a centre ball shot, just pop this 8 in. Cue ball will bounce out. Wants to try and get a good couple of feet out to the middle of the table. And he's aiming low. Is he drawing back? He sure is. So we've got this 9 now in the top left corner pocket. And this will take Luis Abarca through to the semi-finals for the 2nd tournament running. It'll be well played to Tad. But unfortunately it's not your night. The players shake hands. And our winner is Luis Abarca. And he's now going to proceed through to the semi-finals where he's going to be playing the winner of Ken Lautner and Antoine Anton. Coming up soon here on Mothlike TV.